Father, you are for the opportunity to be in your house this morning. Show yourself strong, oh God. Your presence, and you heal. The word comes, oh God. So use me as honor this morning. Love you, Lord. Thank you that you love us more. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Oh, amen. Amen. Thank you, and tell your neighbor you are looking. If they are, even if it's a gentle, beautiful. Hey, anytime that we come before the Lord is. I do not believe that comes into the house of the Lord and you did not encounter the Lord. It is a consuming fire. Countess matter the make of that material must be transformed. So it doesn't matter the material you came into this morning. Properties that you would encounter. Lord would Jesus for us being the team first. Speaking on and next on putting speaking on this morning, God first. That I am speaking on this morning. First. The Bible here on chapter 12. Written from verses 3. But we verses 1 to if you are God in reverence to events, you kindly stand with us as I read the verses 1 through 6. 6 days Passover came to Bethany, had raised from the dead. So they gave a day for him there. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of those reclining with him at table. Mary therefore took a pound of expensive ointment made from pure nard and anointed the feet of Jesus, wiped his feet with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples, who was about to betray him, said, "Why was the ointment not sold for 300 denarii and given to the poor?" He said, not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. And having charge of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put into. May the Lord word. Enablement of the Holy Spirit, a job this morning is to point two pictures to us. At the end of the service, I am come to a point we can look at things that we do, able to ask ourselves, am I putting God first? And so we go, and at the end, standard by which we would be able to measure whether we are putting God first in our lives or not. Now, this list that we are going to is by no means we could. This would be the example. Again, the aim is that of the sermon, we should all be able to have something that we can look up to that our lives and say, do A, B, or C, shows that I am putting that I am not first in my life. I want to look at two characters, Martha, Judas. What did their character we just heard? We will come to the, am I putting or am I? So let's start with, now in the reading went through, we read that Martha, Bible, when Jesus, to understand, first they enjoy God. Service to God, that you are putting God in your life. Martha was a very worthy woman. She in class in society. Home servants, she attended. But when it came to the things of God, she will not be a servant to serve God. The first in their lives. When it comes to the service of God in society, that when it comes to God, your education should not matter. It is not. They are different in the house of God. You may be asked to be the chairman of the committee. It looks that many people will accept very easily. But what if the is asked to be the one? That is when we begin to see, you understand doctorate degree. We begin to stand, I hold stature and society. It begins in the house of God. That is not a heart person that puts God first. If God, there is no God, you do God that dishonors. You will do the toilets and it will not honor you because your heart is with God and God is first in your life. I heard what Mill say something. It humbles him, like when he goes into the church and he cleaning the church and cleaning everything in the house of God. It says nothing humble of him, and he whose heart is after God, he who puts God first. This service can, you see, there are many people which start that I am not doing this anymore. You doing everything that wall because of something somebody may say, because with this service. Now this is one of visited this same family. This same matter was, and in Jesus. So Martha came and went to Jesus and said that, Jesus, don't you see that my sister is not helping in the service? Jesus answered, Martha, Mary has chosen the right thing. You are worrying about the wrong. Jesus rebuked her. Now, me, I have the second, I will not serve him. Because the first time I made an attempt to serve you, you rebuked me. But Martha will not let anything stop her service to God. She not to serve God, her heart, things of God. God service of God, no matter what happens and no matter what people. That service should not just be because you enjoy doing something. It should be because your heart is God and your heart is after God. They begin to consider everything they have as belonging. There is nothing too hard to give to God. Verses 3 says that Mary therefore took expensive about Mary. Made from pure. Now, touch a little bit that was 1 year's work, the whole year, from January to December. So if we bring it into our average salary, be earning $1 million in a year. About that, I am not saying of the perfume. That category change. Mary was toward this of Jesus as it back. They that put God first in their life hold nothing back from God. Thing to God. Has been given God first, it is easy for you to return to God what has given unto you. Nobody would come. But what if God did? Will that be the make and break of you? Now imagine that, you earn maybe 50,000 and you have a revelation and God says that 1,000 to me. Be example. But to give what he valued the most to him, his own son Isaac. Sacrifice Isaac unto me. Made the attempt to Isaac, then now I know that you love me. What are you not able to give many things? It's examples that I go into. But when you do something and to give up that God, it means you are not putting God first in your life. Martha was to give a whole age to the Lord. Why? It was going to cost her. That who loves the Lord and God first. Number 3, one who humbles himself before God. When you put God first, you are humble. Now, when where do we? The oil on the head of the, then it runs down. But head, although she received the feet of Jesus. This is not a man who and a man that I humble before. To the extent Jesus Christ. Hair of a woman in those days, her pride was her willing to love so much before say, and my father, it's my him, it's my. I was saying something one of the